Assalamu alaikum and welcome. This is the only way up. And we're going to start a new section on the podcast of the family show, talking about everything related to the family. We're going to start off with the topic of siblings. Um, in this world of confusion, in this world of distractions, in this world of desires, it's very easily for a brother or a sister in the household to go astray, to go on a wrong path, to be very different from the rest of the family. How do you deal with this as a sibling, not as a parent, as a sibling, as an elder brother, as an elder sister? What do you do? Is it a case of just telling them? Is it a case of I've told them once, they're not listening? What can I do? Or is it a case of passionately wanting to help them? And I think the answer lies in not a relationship of siblings, but the relationship the Prophet ﷺ had with his wife Khadija radiallahu anha. And when the Prophet ﷺ received revelation, it was a overwhelming situation. It was shocking. So the Prophet ﷺ ran home, and who did he seek support from? From his wife. Cover me, cover me. And what did his wife do? She comforted him. She supported him. She was there in his difficult time and overwhelming situation. And it was also, she had to be there for him. And it's narrated that she said, Khadija radiallahu anha, for by him who has dominion over Khadija's soul, I hope that you are the prophet of this nation. Allah would never humiliate you, for you are good to your relatives. You are true to your word. You help those who are in need. You support the weak. You feed the guest, and you answer to the call of those who are in distress. So Khadija radiallahu anha was supporting him that look, you're going through a difficult time, but you're gonna get through this. Look, and she went through it, helped him get through that difficult time. And I think as siblings, for if you have a brother or sister who's going through, who's lost track, who's gone off track, who's gone in the wrong way, who's been dazzled, who's been confused, and rather than writing them off as a bad person, actually they need guiding, they need supporting, they need someone to pull them back, keep them on the straight path. And in this society, it's more needed than ever. It's more needed than ever because the number of distractions is through the roof. From what's in your pocket, your phone, to the long school day, to the evenings, through the changing, confusing norms that are out there. As a sibling, you can predict if I don't pull them back now, this is going to cause damage for the next 10, 15 years. So, as siblings, someone like growing up, it used to be that the eldest sister was the second mother of the house. That was how she was seen, and that's how she took her role. The eldest son was seen as the second father in the house. That's how he was seen, and that's how they took their role. And I think that kept a generation of people well, stable, together on the right track, and kept the family in a good place.
Yeah, absolutely, Shani. I think we live in a world where it's very individualistic. It's very me, myself, and I. So what can happen then is you're so engrossed in your own life that you forget that actually you're not an individual. You are part of a family. You're part of a community, and with that, as you mentioned, it brings roles and responsibilities. And you have that saying that it takes a whole village to raise a baby. Yeah, the teacher, the mother, the wider community, and that's how everyone's going to see their role. I know we live in a world where it's all about you as the individual, but you can't separate yourself from everyone else. You can't make everything, so you have to go to professionals. Most people are not dentists, so you have to go to a professional dentist to get things done. And your brothers and your sisters, you're one unit, you're part of the same household. So really, what happens in that house is, one of your responsibilities. So, every elder brother and sister should really be, as you mentioned, they should be like a second father, second mother. They should be someone the siblings can find support in. They are someone that siblings can turn to when they don't understand something, when they're confused, when they're facing challenges. And, so much research has shown that the breakdown of society, the breakdown of Western societies, especially, all the research shows it comes down to broken families. You know, if families are functioning, what you get is very healthy, prosperous, sensible individuals who go on and make a contribution towards society. But you find many of those who are in prison, many of those who are mental issues, you find the breakdown of family or the absence of family is actually a key contributor there. So, you know, maintaining that relationship with your siblings, nurturing that relationship, all of this is necessary really for actually for the continuance of life, for the continuance of civilization. And that's why, you know, these ideas of individualism, consumerism, you know, enjoying life and just, you know, pursuing whatever matters. You know, there was an era where people would sacrifice or give up certain jobs because they couldn't see their family or they'll have to separate from their family. We live in a time now where family has become so secondary that people pursue careers and they leave their parents behind. People move abroad without even taking into account, you know, is the house stable? Can they really survive without me? And look, at the end of the day, you know, your wealth can go up and down. Everything else can go up and down. You know, your family is someone you were born with, and you know, you as an individual will probably bring more children into this world. And to raise them, you're only going to need a whole family. And you know, I look at my family. We have a quite a wide network. We have a lot of cousins, and actually, I've seen with my kids the difference it makes when they've got grandfather, grandmother, you've got cousins, makes such a big difference. You know, they all study together. On Eid, we get together. On birthdays, it's just an excuse for us all to get together. And this has such a big impact. And there's so many people in the West who don't have this, who don't see this, and it has a big impact on them. So, you know, anyone who has siblings, you know, you're there to be a pillar for them. You're there to help them. You're there to motivate them. You're there to be support for them. That's the role you play. So, you know, if you're a younger sibling, you need someone to look up to. You need someone to support you. If you're the older sibling, you know, it's your job to direct and advise and be a support for your young siblings. And, you know, if this happens, what you then get is successful societies. That's when you get, you know, people can prosper, people can develop, and everyone's much more happier. And you know, this is what everybody wants. Even in the West, you know, unfortunately, the blame's being put on other factors that have led to this. But you know, you can't take away the fact that there are values being promoted, which really leads to the destruction of societies. I mean, in places like France and Britain and Germany, especially, you've got population decline going on. The family and having children become so secondary now, is leading to a decline in their populations. So, you know, very, very important. You know, the basic building block of any society is really the family, and you know, siblings and their relationships and nurturing that is a key part of that.
Yeah, and I think especially with when you got a younger sibling, maybe early teens, and maybe in yourself you're in late teens, and you feel like it's not landing. The message isn't landing. They're not listening. They're not taking it on board. And my message is, trust me, they're taking it on board. They are taking it on board. They're absorbing it. They're just trying to figure it out. They're just trying to work it out, and that can be more difficult, more slow in this society where there's a ton of confusion, there's a ton of distractions, there's a ton of misapplication, there's a ton of um, different understandings that take this issue down the rabbit hole. So keep going, keep persevering, keep telling, keep discussing, keep encouraging, and keep your trust and faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that your words are making a change. So leave a comment below if you've got any story, if you've got something to say, if you've got any experience of this. We'd love to hear from you. Jazakallah khair for listening. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.